Someone left me a comment on one of my recent videos. He's got a master's degrees, applied for over 200 jobs, didn't even get a single interview. And he's not some edge cases. In the UK, unemployment just hit the highest level in 5 years. Here's what I think a lot of people are missing: the real numbers. It's far worse than what the government is telling you. So today, I want to break down what is actually going on, because it's not just one thing. It is a system that is broken at almost every level. Let's get into it. The latest data from the Office of National Statistics paints a very bleak picture. The UK unemployment has climbed up to 5.2%. That's the highest it's been since 2021, right in the middle of the pandemic recovery. To put a number on that, around 1.5 million people in this country are officially unemployed right now. And it's not hitting everyone equally. Young men aged 16 to 24 are being hit the highest. So, if you are a young man in Britain right now trying to start your career, the odds are genuinely stacked against you. Now, to give it some international context, the UK is currently the worst performer in the G7 on this measure. Worse than France, worse than Germany, worse than the United States. That's not the position any government wants to be in. But here's the thing, 5.2%, does that even come close of telling the full story? Because there's a number the government conveniently leaves out of these headlines. When the government says the unemployment rate is 5.2%, they're actually counting people who are actively looking for work. If you've given up, if you sent 300 applications, had nothing back, and stopped trying, you don't count. You're not unemployed. You are economically inactive. So right now, 9.3 million working age adults in the UK fall into that category. 9.3 million. Now, not all people want to work. Some are students, some are carers, some are retired early by choice, but a record 2.8 million of them are out of work due to long-term illness. The numbers have been climbing steadily since 2020, and the biggest driver is mental health, especially amongst young men. Then you've got what economists call the discouraged worker effect. These are people who want to work, who are able to work, but who have been rejected so many times that they simply stop trying. They've fallen out of the system entirely. If you were to add all of those people together and back into the unemployment figure, the real picture isn't 5%, it is closer to 20 and probably higher. So if millions of people are willing to work but can't find work, the obvious question is, where have all the jobs actually gone? There are three forces converging right now, and altogether they're reshaping British labour market in ways we've never seen before. First is AI and automation. I'm not talking about some distant future scenario. It's happening right now. BT announced cuts of 55,000 jobs, with a significant portion being replaced by artificial intelligence. We're talking admin roles, customer service, junior analyst position. They are being quietly phased out across the board. The companies aren't always making headlines about it. They all call it restructuring or digital transformation. But the result is the same: fewer jobs for real people. The second force is outsourcing. COVID proved that millions of jobs could be done remotely. And once you accept that someone can do the job from a living room in London, well, that same someone can also do it from the living room in Bangalore. For a fraction of the cost, UK wages simply can't compete with global labor market. And companies, especially in tech, finance, and customer support, are taking advantage of that right now. And the third effect is something people just don't talk enough about: the cost of living that is killing small businesses. Think about the cycle. The average British renter is now spending 44% of their income on housing. That leaves almost nothing for discretionary spending. So people stop going to restaurants, they cancel subscriptions, they cut back on spending. And when spending drops, small businesses, the one that actually employ people in the local communities, start closing down. Fewer customers means less revenue. Less revenue means redundancies. More redundancies means more unemployed people with even less money to spend. And it's a vicious downward spiral. And it's playing out in high streets across the country right now. So the jobs are disappearing from the top through automation, from the middle through outsourcing, and from the bottom through economic collapse. But even when jobs do exist, there's another problem. And honestly, this one might frustrate you the most. Let's say you are looking for work right now. You go on LinkedIn, Indeed, Reed, whatever platform you use. You found a role. Entry level, it says. Great. Then you read the requirements. 3 years experience, specific degree, proficiency in 5 different software tools for an entry level position. That has become so widespread that it's almost a joke at this point. Except It's not actually funny if you are the person looking out for it. Companies have completely decided they don't want to train anyone anymore. They want someone who can hit the ground running from day one. And if you can't, you're not getting through the door. But here's the thing though, even if you're qualified, you might never get seen because your application isn't even being read by a person. It's being scanned by AI recruitment software. So if your CV doesn't contain the exact keyword the algorithm is looking for, it gets automatically rejected before a human being even lays eye on it. You could be the perfect candidate and you never know it because you got filtered out. And then there's something called ghost jobs. These are roles that companies post online with no intention of actually filling them out. Sometimes it's for data collection, sometimes it's to make the company look like they're growing to investors. Sometimes the roles has already been filled internally and the listing is just a formality. Some estimates suggest that up to 30% of job listings online are ghost jobs. Think about what that means. You're spending hours tailoring applications for positions that literally do not exist. So you've got millions of people who want to work. You've got jobs being automated, outsourced, or wiped out by the cost of living. And the jobs that do exist are hidden behind a recruitment system that seems almost designed to reject you. Which raises the question, what is the government actually doing about any of this? The unemployment crisis in Britain right now isn't just about one statistics. It's a system that is failing at every level. From jobs being replaced by technology, to the ones being shipped overseas, to the ones you can't even apply for because the robot throws your CV in the bin. And until we start being honest about the full scale of this, and not just push out government headlines number, but the millions of people who've disappeared from the data entirely, nothing is going to change. I want to hear from you. If you've been job hunting in the UK, what's your experience been? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one of them. And if you want to stay across these stories, hit subscribe. I cover this every week.